Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we completed and tested Submit Test API, and in today's video, we will work in our Angular application and we will create the functionality to store the selected answers of the test. So let's get started. So in our Angular application in the taketest.component.html, as you can see, we have a form and then we have the radio buttons. Now on the change of these buttons, we need to store the question ID and the selected answer in a variable. And to do this, we will open taketest.component.ts, and in this file, we will create a variable with the name of selected answers. And in this, we need to store the question ID and the selected option. And to store the question ID, we will name this as key and the type of this will be number. And after this, we need to store the selected option as the value of the key and the type of this will be string. And at the end, we will initialize this with empty object. And after this, we need to create a method which we call on the change event of the radio button, and in the body of that method we need to write the code to update our selected answers variable, and we need to store the question ID and the selected answer. And to do this, we will name this method as onAnswerChange, and in this method we need to accept the question ID and the selected option. So we will write question ID and the type of this will be number, and after this, for the second parameter, we will name this as selected option and the type of this will be string. And after this, in the body of this method, we will use our selected answers variable, and after this we need to access the key. So here we will pass question ID, and after this on this key we need to set the value. So we will write selected option here, and after this let's write a console.log statement, and in this we will log the selected answers. And with this our own answer change method is completed in the ts file. Now let's save this file and let's open taketest.component.html, and in this file we need to write the code to call the onAnswerChange method on the change event of the radio button. And to do this we will use the input tag, and after this we will use the change event, and on this change event we will call a method onAnswerChange. And in this method we need to pass the question ID and the selected option, and to pass the question ID we will write question.id, and after the question ID we need to pass the selected option, and to do this we need to pass the text of that option. And because this input is for the option A of the question, and to pass the text of the option A we will write question dot option A. And after this we need to create this change event on the all inputs. So we will copy this code from here, and then we will go to the option B input and we will paste this code here. And after this we need to replace the option, and we will replace this question dot option A with option B, and then we will copy the code for the change event again. And after this we will go to the option C and we will paste this code here, and for this input we will replace the question dot option B with the option C, and then we will copy this code for the change event for the last time and we will paste it for the option D, and then we will replace the question dot option C with the option D. And with this our code is completed for the change events, and now we need to create a button for the submission of this test. And to do this we will create a div, and after this we will give it some styling for the margins, and then in this div we will create a button tag, and the type of this will be submit, and after this for the text we will write submit answers. And with this our HTML code is completed. Now let's save this file and let's run our application. And as you can see our application is up without any errors. And now let's go to the browser and let's validate the functionality of the change event and selected answers. And in the browser we will click on this login button, and after this we need to log in as user. So for the email, I will give this as root@gmail.com, and after this for the password, I will give root, and then we will click on this login button. And as you can see, after the login success, we got redirected to the user dashboard. Now let's click on the start button of the beginner level developer test. And as you can see, we got redirected to the take test page, and on this page we got the submit answers button. Now let's open console by hitting F12, and after this we will check the second option of the first question, and as you can see we got the selected answer printed in the console, and for the key we got the question ID as 1, and for the value we got the text of the option as hyperlink markup language. Now let's select the option C for the question 2, and as you can see we got two items in this object, and for the second item we got the question ID as 2, and we got the selected option text as JavaScript. And that's it for today's video. In the next video, we will write the code to call the Submit Answers API in our Angular application by using this selected answers object.